Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Early Conversations. I know y'all just saw us, but we back because it's a special occasion. Because it's what? Kwanzaa 2022. Correct. So today is Ujima Day for collective work and responsibility. And the prompt is, we all we got. Show appreciation to your favorite Black collaboration. Spoiler alert, mine is Early Conversations. So, do we need to introduce ourselves? You just saw us yesterday. I don't think that we do. So we're just gonna hop right in. I'll let Shay say hello. The
hey y'all, hey.
Of Kwanzaa, I'll let her say hey to y'all, and then we'll hop in. You want to greet the public? Oh, I guess you don't want to greet y'all. She said, "Nah, they know who I am." Fine. So
no, I was trying. I thought I unmuted myself and I said something, but I guess you didn't hear it. So
I did, but I didn't know if you wanted to say it more because I talked right over you.
Oh no, I just okay. I did it again. All right, hold on. Okay, thank you. Okay. Hey y'all, hey. That's all.
Oh, that's all. Okay. That's it. That's all. Okay. So we're going to get right into some loving on ourselves because if you don't love you, ain't nobody else going to do it. That's probably not true, actually. I don't like those absolutist statements about love. I'm just like.
Right, that part. How long is the first video? Is it a 60-minute video?
Our video. I was like, you already told me it was 35 minutes. That's not the one you're talking about. Okay. Right. 30. Nope. Wow. It's an hour and 25 minutes.
Hour and 25 minutes. Oh, it must be a live, huh?
No, it's our writing our faith video.
Oh,
we just went in.
Fine. Okay. All right.
Whenever I think of the number. Jesus and what he has done for me.
It picked 36 as the number.
36? Okay. Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. If you remember this video, tell us what your favorite moment from this video was. If you can recall. Would want to really meet Christ. So I think that's part of it, is that and it's hard for me because I'm impatient. I want to write the gotcha scene first, but it's right. This is page 1 now. So if you don't want to write a linear story, if you want to write, as a writer, if you want to write the ending first, okay, sure, do you. But
the way that Sally Beth wrote had 5 demons on her for 85% of the book, no matter what, because they've been with her for life. She chose them. We can't.
And the angels even said we can't take them.
Right, we can't. They have to be there until she doesn't want them there anymore. It's very it's very real to the God ain't gonna force himself on you.
Right.
It's very real to the power.
So what I really love about our conversations is, number one, I think we're pretty consistent. Our values we're very vocal and honest about our values, and that comes through in our writing. And I love that we had a conversation that was based on my relationship to God is very important to me. I'm gonna talk about how that impacts my writing, and this is not the first time that we've had that conversation. Right? We've talked about writing as a ministry. What does that mean? Right. I've been very vocal about for instance, oh my gosh, I love Alexandria House. Then being ooh, let's talk about how one guards their hearts when reading explicit romance. Okay, maybe I should look into writing Christian romance. I love that. And some of those conversations haven't done my honesties, but I like that I don't have to change the way and the topic of conversation from my honesty videos to this collaborative effort. It's just honest.
It says something about consistency, one, and also says something about like being the same no matter what. Like you don't have to compromise yourself in this collaboration. Which, you know, in private, you know, and then as our friendship going, we definitely talked about that in collaborating with other creators and moving through, you know, YouTube and Instagram and all these spaces, is you don't want to get caught up in spaces where you are having to compromise who you are. And so I think that that's just a testament to what this collab is in itself. And watching that, I just was really like, I miss my braids. And then I turned my camera on. It's like, they're back, baby, they're back. So there's that. And there's that. They're not all the way done, which is why I'm just like, yeah, but they're back, baby, they're back. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that. And then I was like, God ain't gonna force himself upon you. Yeah, no, God's not gonna force you for nothing. God is not gonna force nothing. It's just, well, okay, hold on. I take that back, because if God wants you, he wants you, and there's just that. You can't run from him either. So, and I think that's the part that makes it God. You can't explain it as a human. You just got to deal with it.
I think I do. It is true that God is not going to force you, but he that doesn't mean he won't pursue.
Oh,
the choice
sure.
will still ultimately be yours on whether you accept the call, because the invitation is for everyone. And God shows himself in all of our lives, whether or not we see and acknowledge him. So the invitation is there for everyone. If you have eyes to see, like if you're acknowledging God, then you can see him in your life in a million different ways. But is he gonna force you? No, because that's not love. Love is a choice. If it's forced, that's not love. That's dominion. That's domination. That's not what God's looking for. So no, I think that your statement aged quite well. God's not going to force himself upon you. That remains the truth. Okay, roll the dice. We are on episode 7. And that is the Boosting Black event for.
I need time numbers so I know what the range of numbers.
The number is 2 hours. This was a live. This was our Boosting Black Live for 2-2.
It is 38.
38. 38.
I called my play sister. I was like, hey, you got a Tulsa library card? Now, all right, can I put your address down and have a card sent to your house in my name so I can like request for specific libraries? Because, and then it was like, oh, I can't request it for you. You can go online and do it. So what's the point? And y'all answer whatever. Okay, so yeah, now I got a temporary Tulsa library card number, and so that's what happened for me. And yeah, I called Tulsa and Oklahoma City because I was like, I already know it's gonna be here for Stillwater because I've already done it. And the other thing is that I wanted to make sure we were getting physical copies because.
Right off, thank you, Shay. Right off the bat, I love seeing Maya in the chat, Brandy in the chat, people being like, this event is great. I'm gonna call this person, hit the like button. Like I love one of my favorite things about our Riley conversations is the input and the interaction we get from consistent viewers, like those who are we know they're gonna be there. I just love that. I love the community around Riley conversations who benefit from and contribute to those conversations and the way that they age, right? So I love the people in the conversations. Shout out to y'all.
I was doing the same thing. I was looking and I was like, yo, Maya telling people to hit the like button. Everybody in there, literary lady. That's been the best thing about this year, is been the premiere. I definitely think it's definitely made it. It has increased. It has definitely doubled the time and how much we spend on writerly conversations, because now we spend the time recording it, editing it, and then also watching it back with you guys. But I can't say it's been worth it. I definitely can say it's worth it. I think the engagement has been better. And I'll have to go look at the views, but I think the views this year have been better because of the premieres. So I think it'd be interesting to see. But that's what I was also looking at the chat. I thought that was
that one we just watched had 198 views. But I mean, I remember when we first started Riley Conversations, that second episode continues to pull numbers. Interracial romance and Black erasure.
Yeah.
The people were into that one. And not even negatively, which was a wonderful surprise. People who I had never seen before or since in that video, like, oh my gosh, thank you for finally saying it. And that's when I was like, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. So yeah, no, we do numbers because we get into stuff. There are still plenty of conversations that we censure and are like, let's wait for when we have a paywall to put on that. Because some conversations, you it's just not worth the troll risk for free. Let's also talk about labor, like artistic, creative labor, and also emotional labor. It's not worth the time it's going to take to be spending with trolls. Like that's just something you'd rather have for people who are like who have already shown themselves as dedicated real humans and not bots. But yeah, I love that we have good conversations, and I love that we boost Black. Like, of course we do, but also I love it. I love that we talk about Tutu. The one we're about to watch is actually a conversation about Black new releases. So we talk about Tutu and Blood Like Fate. And that video is an hour and 11 minutes, BT dubs. So yeah, no, thank y'all for contributing to the Writerly conversations. Thank y'all for supporting and tearing along with us. We appreciate you. I hope y'all are putting in the chat your favorite moments of each of these videos. The next video, like I said, is about Lizelle and Brittany's
Not
book.
that number is 39.
No, like you're gonna do this number. So what is y'all's favorite moment of this video? Still rocking the braids.
The logic behind it it never makes sense to me. Like it's never like, how did they get y'all to agree to this? Like, how did this happen? Right. He was
exactly. We knew he wasn't likable. You can't that was the wrong character to do prequel on. Like I would have sooner read Peter's prequel, and Peter is boring as bread. I'm sorry. He is so lovable.
I would read the other dude.
Gale. I never liked Gale.
He seemed interesting, at least in the movies. He seemed interesting. I didn't read the book, so in the movies, he at least was like, I was arguing to get out there and go fight. Like, I mean, he'll go get you some food or something.
I was arguing against him. It absolutely was a money grab because that didn't make no kind of sense.
Oh yeah, no, I can believe that.
So the fact that we did get around to talk, if you were there, you know, we talked about Tutu and Blood Like Fate. But I just say, I love our tangents. We can have a whole video of just tangents. We really can. And y'all really be tearing along with us and interacting with our tangents like that is the topic of conversation. We appreciate that as well. But I love our tangents.
I was just like, not me talking about a book I ain't even read. But
it's the movie though. You were talking about the movie.
Yeah, no, another thing is like I've seen the movies, but I was just like, what? We talking about a prequel I don't know nothing about. What is it? That's all. And there go the timer because obviously I didn't start it on time. That's what that is. That's what I thought. And then I think the part of this conversation was talking about like wanting to know more about other characters and stuff. Is I think that's why we were talking about like the prequel of that, because I think we were talking about wanting to know more about what happened with the older Black witches and how that started, like going deeper into that storyline. And so thinking about that, it makes me remember just how much I love family histories, and I just love like getting the full story, right? Because the truth is we are not the full story. Our story is filled with so much from people before us, because those people before us created us, and so many of the things that they did influence how we came to be. And so those are the two thoughts I had watching that, random as they always are.
I mean, at this point, that's part of our brand. We're going to have conversations about books, about writing, and about everything that falls in between or is like even tangentially related. Like that's part of our brand. The next video is 63 minutes. Oh, I love it though. I love it. Okay.
29.
29. Okay. What is y'all's favorite moment of this video? The craft of fiction. We are rolling up on getting close to the present moment. Look at y'all in the live chat.
Right. And it's so much easier than just somebody giving you instructions. Like it just is. It's like, this is how you make this happen. Right. Again, I talk about this all the time. One of my favorite videos of describing Black skin is Jordan and Fuego reading about like the skin looking like the color of earth and people wanting to just give themselves to, and like just the way that she wrote that was like a master class. And just hearing that, she didn't have to tell you use these type of adjectives, describe it, compare it to this noun and do it this way.
And she couldn't have, like, she couldn't have told you how to do that without showing you how it's done.
Exactly.
Oh, Jordan. Okay, I've been going first this entire time.
I was gonna say we love us some Jordan. That's all. We love us some Jordan. We love us some Jordan. Also, this is a conversation I really like. I really, really like this conversation. Especially because I do think it's a topic that isn't talked about enough. And so I remember thinking that as we were getting started, I remember thinking that as we were going through it. And then as we were watching it just now, I was like, the fact that we landed on the Jordan clip, and that is such a beautiful way to showcase description, is just the perfect, it's just the perfect one, the perfect mic drop for that one. I like that one. I like that one. That was right in the right spot.
It was in the right spot. And I love talking about craft. Like, I love talking about how is this happening? Because 100%, although this is honestly yet to come, because I don't talk explicitly about the plots of any of my books because they're not out yet. But Shay can attest, I can fangirl about my characters ad nauseum. She has the voice messages to prove it when I am mid inspiration. So we could talk about characters all day, and we do, just not when the camera is recording. But I love that we can also talk about how to create those kind of characters that have us like, oh my gosh, like, I love that we can do that. And I look forward to Lively Conversation season 3 or season 4, when we're talking about our own characters and like gushing over them, right? But also talking about how we created that character, who influenced the creation of that person. So I like that we can talk about writing in a more theoretical way, not just being like, I don't like Gail, I like Peter. Like, okay, cool. And that's true. But also, and let's talk about the description of skin, and not just from a standpoint of critique, like, oh, when it's edible, it's so, like, when they describe skin as anything edible, it's very off-putting for me. Like, Black people do it too, and I mean, I guess I feel less of a way, but I'm still just like, we all just be in the practice of finding different ways. But we've had that conversation. Can we talk about ways that we love that it's happened, and in those things? So I like that. Yes, absolutely. Like, if it's time to have a critical moment, we can have a critical moment of appreciation, as well as of asking people to do better. And I like that there's both, because I think we can all think of some channels. Don't put it in the chat. Do not put it in this chat. No tea, no shade. But I think we can all think in our minds and inside thoughts of videos that we've seen where it's like, you're really just here to show some tea to get some clicks and views. Inside thoughts. So let's get out. I think we can all think of a video that we've seen. Maybe not even in the booktube sphere. Let's say that, huh? Yeah. We can think of videos that do that. That is always going to be like some sort of like a hate read or a hate rant or blah blah blah, like stuff like a terrible date. Like I'm just, I'm throwing it out and all shit you see. We can think of those videos where it's like, you did this for a click. I'm glad that we've definitely had videos where we're like, this irks me. But we also have people where it's like, if you even say Joe, we're like, Jordan Fuego. Or if you even say, oh, she's gonna be like, Elizabeth. Like, we have people who we just love and point them out as good examples. So I like that this isn't just a platform to talk about people and things that we don't like and to drag things for filth or read them or whatever. Like, it's not that. We're doing it for the love of it all. And sometimes we just gotta speak about things that are falling below the threshold of acceptable output. But that's not what we're here for. And I love that. The next video is, by the way, did I speak over you? I be doing that, y'all. No, I didn't. Okay. You went first
that time. I went first that time.
Right. The last video is November. It's 35 minutes, Shay. And the other thing I'll say that about Writerly Conversations is when I saw this video, I was like, man, I look so tired. And I think, Shay and I are very vocal and transparent, but there's still some behind the scenes stuff. There are some things that you do that stress you out. Like sometimes group work is stressful because you are accountable to other people and it's a lot of schedules to balance and it just gets stressful doing it. Like having cooperation can be tiring, especially when we're in this just all around ridiculous time in the world. And then, you still have a body and the body has limits and da-da-da. Writerly Conversations is not stressful for me. Like if I can't do something, we're not going to do it. If Shay can't do something or can't do something on a particular day, we're just not going to do it. And it's not a guilt trip. It's not, honestly, most of the time, neither of us even have to ask. It's just like a look. Like I came on today and Shay was like, we can do this 2 hours from now. Like we don't have to do it now. I didn't want to, but I could have, and I would not have felt guilt. Like I wouldn't have felt like, oh, I have to apologize to Shay because I'm taking up her time. Like I love that even behind the scenes, Writerly Conversations is a caring endeavor. And I think that's why the conversation can be good on screen, is because, to your point about consistency, there's not like a on. Like it's not like, oh, the camera's recording. Okay, now I like her, or like she didn't just piss me off, or that. It's like, can I act? Of course, but I'm not. So I'm not, and that allows me to feel good about this collaboration as a whole, which makes each video just like another edition of something that I love and not like an obligation. Because that would suck. That would suck. Okay, let me pull up the next video. Shay, if you want to comment on my amazing acting skills, go ahead.
The number is 12.
Shay said, I'm not actually going to touch that at all. I'm just going to tell you to move on to number 12.
I'm going to let you have that one. And the number is 12. That's all.
Listen. Dwell with one another according to knowledge, as the good book says. Amen.
Penelope's Curve collection, I want there to be more like flash fiction to divide the stories up and kind of give you like a different perspective. And the way I'm trying to bring the whole collection together, y'all, it'll gosh, Lord willing, it'll be good. It'll be great. Chef's kiss. But it's gonna take some work because flash fiction is, I feel about flash fiction how Britt feels about short stories. Like 500 words. And like there's some flash fiction competitions or like submissions I've done that are like 125 words. And I'm like, yo, how can you come on, like how did it? But I do. Like I've given myself like a goal that one of the short stories in there, the flash fiction, has to be less than 200 words. Like I've given myself a goal of like writing one. But that was the desire to get that. Now, Do I think that I've let that desire kind of rapture me, and that's why we ain't got no numbers yet? Yeah, but 2023, we're gonna work on it. We're gonna work on it.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go first again.
So the first thing I was like, I feel like I'm always the one talking whenever we pick a number. I know I'm not. Like, I know you talk too, but I always just feel like, dang, I talk a lot. And I just think it's just random where the numbers, how it just always seems to line up like that. I really just felt chastised, really like, what have you written today? That's really what I was like, oh, Penelope's Curve, the collection, how's that going? It really was like the voice in my head the whole time. It's like you talking about this thing and it's gonna be good. You gotta finish it for it to be good, that kind of stuff.
Yes, so that was our November video, short form writing. What I really love about Writerly Conversations is the way that it's not basically, it is an incidental archive. From the first Writerly Conversations in December 2020, yes, that was the first annual Kwanzaa time. From the first Writerly Conversations to the final Writerly Conversations of season 2, there has been a significant change in both Shay and I's goals and, well, even if not goals, like an evolution of goals, a sharpening of focus, a deepening of drive. And so I love that if we desire to, we could definitely make a little, how like in fantasy they have like a training montage, and then at the end they're like, somehow I make a man out of you. Ha! Yeah, that basically, but for us. So like starting with me being like, I'm doing Trad Pub. And then the chopping and screwing all of the different him and Holland and discoveries and tweets from Trad Pub authors. And to me being like, I feel down in my spirit that the Lord is leading me here to independent publishing. I feel like what a journey. What a journey that would be. And we could, and Shay could do the same thing for coming to the project that she's working on, the large project that she's working on now. And then when Shay's first novel comes out, it's going to be like, wow, we really captured that all on Writerly Conversations. So I love that Writerly Conversations is a sort of incidental archive for our writing progress. It's like a secondary, longer honesty, honestly. Like
it's definitely like it is a reminder of why I created my channel originally. Like it wasn't for other people. It was for me to be able to look back and see how much I've changed and grown as a writer from when I decided to take it seriously. And like even thinking about just the things in the things in which we wanted to do, right? Like you wanted to Trad Pub, I was definitely gonna hybrid. Like I always knew I was gonna self-publish, but I was like, I'm definitely gonna try to find an agent and all that. And it's just like to know how much work all of it is to get to that's time I could have spent writing another book, working to publish the book I've already written. Like it's just I the business side has taken over the creative side, and it's like let's look at this in all the ways in which we can look at it. I also think very much so, I don't know about y'all, but I know if we went back and watched video 1 to now, what will be today's video, which I think will end up being like video technically 25 that we've done. I think it would be interesting, but I'm pretty sure we would be able to see the evolution of our friendship. Now, y'all might think we've been the same from the first one, but we would know how much closer we got and like what facial expressions were real and which ones are we like more, I'm getting to know this girl, don't show my right. So I just think like you were saying, like just to have an archive, so not only of us as writers, but us as friends and collaborators. And since this is an appreciative of a Black collaboration, I'm definitely appreciative for what this collab has brought to my life. And while we were watching, I went through, and yeah, for the most part, if we haven't done more views on the video than last, we're like over half of last year's videos, which would mean last year they've already been up a year. so they've had way more time. So this has definitely been a more viewed season, and I feel like if I have been more active over the summer, some of the ones that were lower would have been a little bit more watched, but I wouldn't put no content. So, it is what it is. But no, I think like I said before, the premieres helped. I think having a more focused year this year for sure. We definitely planned. Last year we were winging it the whole time. Every time we sat down, we were like, oh, okay, what we're gonna talk about next time. This year, pretty much everything was planned. There were like a few times where we had to like shuffle things around, but for the most part, everything was planned this year. We sat down and we did it. So I think that it goes to show how good it can be when we sit down and plan now that we know each other and stuff. But I like it. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I am grateful for what this collaboration has been. It was not what I imagined, but it's absolutely amazing. I feel like it's much lower stress than it would be if it was me running around trying to get a new author in it every month. Like that's stressful. That's stressful. And last year me had a lot, even 2 years ago me had a lot of ideas, but this year me has a different level of capacity that I just could not have imagined at that point. Capacity is in like there are just more things being added to my list and I have lesser capacity, and I'm like writerly conversations would not be able to continue if it was me with a new person every month. Like I just can't. It's you have to restart.
Imagine having to deal with 12 different people's schedules.
Exactly. Shoot, I got 5 schedules just in my different jobs. Like it would not be. So this is the most consistent version of writerly conversations could have been, and I am grateful for how it has gotten more organized. And that's really just a testament to like writerly conversations is what we need it to be. I needed it to be more organized this year, and Shay knew that. So we sat down and were like, okay, we know from August to May, cray. So let's make sure for this season, August to December, like that's nailed down. Let's make sure whatever book recording, pre-recording, like we were just very organized to the point where it didn't have to be. We're sitting. That's what we're talking about today, because that was fine last year. Like it was fine. But this is a different year. We got different responsibilities, and I like that. Again, it's not a stressful thing. It's just like, well, what do you need? Okay, well, let's do that. Like I love that because both Shay and I have been in other collaborations besides with each other, and every collaboration is not this. There are definitely some that are just more stressful than others, and some of those factors are out of your control. But this is not a stressful thing for me, and I really appreciate that and don't take it for granted. And I hope that you all have gotten as much from writerly conversations as Shay and I have. I don't have anything else. If you're watching on the replay, thank you very much. Make sure you smash that like button and comment your favorite thing about writerly conversations or your favorite Black collab. Feel free to like drop, oh, my favorite collab is da da da. I love this thing about it. Totally fine. Drop that in the chat if you're watching on the replay. If you're live in the chat, if you're live in the chat with us, drop your favorite thing about writerly conversations and or your collab that you're going to shout out for Kwanzaa-thon, and what's your favorite thing about them. Shay, do you have anything you want to lead people with on this last writerly conversation of 2022?
No, yeah, this is a great year. I had a great time. Can't wait for y'all to see what we got in 2023. It's gonna be just as organized, if not more. And y'all, get ready. That's really all I got for you. That's really all I got.
All right, we're gonna see y'all in the new year if the Lord wills it. Amen. In the meantime, y'all take care of yourselves, be well, and we can't wait to see all the things that you post for Kwanzaa-thon. So thank you in advance for all of your participation. Super appreciated of everyone pulling into Cashay's Kwanzaa-thon.
I love you. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.